Good morning, boys and girls. I'm happy to have you here with me. Happy Monday morning. Today we're going to be talking about warm colors and cool colors. We're actually going to be drawing a sunset picture using the lines that we talked about last week and starting to separate our colors for the difference of warm colors and cool colors. Do you know what makes them different? The best way to remember, if you're not sure, is warm colors are things that can be hot. So think of something like the sun or fire or even the oven. Those colors are all represented by orange, yellow, red, sometimes browns. So those colors are considered to be warm, and you'll find them on this side of the color wheel. So they're all grouped together. And cool colors are things that are cool or remind you of something that's nice and cool, like cold water, cool grass, shade, things that are physically cool. So thinking of blue, purple, green, colors like that, and you'll find those on this side of the color wheel. We're gonna look at the difference between warm and cool and then create our masterpieces using the knowledge we just gained. So grab your crayons, markers, colored pencils, grab a Sharpie, a piece of paper, and let's get started. All right, guys, so hopefully you have some crayons or markers, something to color with out in front of you. We're gonna separate them by warm colors and cool colors. So I'm gonna do all of my supplies, and I have my color wheel here for reference so I can look at it and know that all from red around to yellow are warm colors, and then from red violet around to yellow green are cool colors. So starting with my markers, we know red, yellow, and orange are the three main warm colors. But we also have brown and pink can be a warm color as well. Depending on the shade of pink, it could be actually warm or cool. Now let's look at our cool colors. Think of water, grass, shade, nighttime. Cool colors, you'll find them right. Let's start with the warm colors. So I'm gonna grab all the ones that I think are warm for my warm side. So far I have oranges and reds. Here's another red, yellow. Notice how they're all very similar in color. Peach, that could be a warm color. Brown. Pink, see how pink can go with this color family? And it could also go with this color family. I'm gonna group it with the warm colors. Now, that leaves me with all of these colors left, which are my cool colors, and I'll group them right over here. All right, so these colors are what we will use for the water, and these colors are what we will use for our sunset. Grab your supplies and get ready to draw. All right, my paper is vertical. That means it is taller than it is wide. Now I want you to take the bottom of your paper and fold it up towards the top. Try to line up your corners the best that you can, and then crease it. So I put my corners together, hold it steady, and then press down so I crease my paper. Perfect. Then I want you to open it up, and you'll see a line in the middle. This separates the land and the sky, but today it's the water and the sky. And the fold that you've created is called a horizon line. The horizon line is where the sky meets the ground. So all of your drawings from now on will have a horizon line, and that tells us where land and sky is. I'll be using a Sharpie, and I'm going to trace the line that I just folded. Trace my horizon line. If you'd like to use a pencil, you may, and then go back and retrace it. So we just created our straight line, and it tells us where the sky is and where the water is. The next thing I'm going to draw is the sun, and that is in the shape of an arch or a rainbow or a tunnel, however you look at it. So we use a half circle for the sun. Very good. Now we're going to draw the sun rays. Now the sun rays radiate from the sun, and they're going to go all the way out to the edge of your paper. So I'm going to start with one in the middle of my sun. Well, I guess the top. So put my marker right at the top, and I'm going to draw a line all the way to the edge. Do you think that's long enough? Nope. Keep going. All the way to the edge. Perfect. Now I'm going to draw a few more lines on both sides. So one coming from the side, and it's diagonal all the way to the corner. Perfect. And then another one diagonal all the way to the edge of my paper. Here we go. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now I've created all these different sections. Instead of leaving them white like that, I want to break up the space by using some of the lines we talked about last week. You can do dash lines, wavy lines, curly lines, zigzags. It's up to you. I think I'll start with some dash lines like this. Again, all the way to the edge of my paper. And then a wavy line. I like the way patterns look, so I'm going to continue this pattern till I fill up my sun. Notice this right here though. I forgot to mention, friends, that I used another piece of paper, so you'll have to grab one more sheet of paper, but I used another piece of paper to create a little sailboat, and this sailboat is just solid black because it's creating something called a silhouette. Silhouette means like the outline of something that you can't see the details in. So we have a silhouette, or just the shape of a sailboat. So it looks like it's sailing across the ocean. So I'm going to set him to the side, and let's work on our waves. So we're going to start at the bottom of the paper here and draw a wavy line from one side of the paper all the way to the other. So we're going to start on one side, go up and down, really stretch it out. Perfect. Now I'm going to do another one in the middle, right here. This time I started down and then went up, but it doesn't matter. Awesome. Now I could probably fit one more in between the horizon line and the water. Cool. I love how these are wavy and most of those ones are straight. Really breaks it up. So notice in between, I added smaller waves. So that would be right here. I could do a little one like this. And then in between, right here. That one goes off the page. And then the final spot is at the top. So it looks like the waves are kind of overlapping. And then these lines here, we talked about those in our last work of art. Those are like cloud shapes, I think I call them. But today, they're wave shapes. It shows that the water is moving. The water has texture. Awesome. All right, friends, I think we are just about ready to color. If you haven't traced yours in Sharpie yet, go ahead and do that now, and then we'll start coloring. I like to have something under my paper so I can color all the way to the edge without getting it on my table. So I put a desk protector or something called a messy mat underneath. That way I don't have to worry about getting it on the table. And now for some lightning speed coloring. Here we go. Now time for some more super speed coloring. Enjoy. Friends, when you use more than one color of blue or turquoise or blue-green, it brings more life to your picture, so it makes things stand out. So looking here, I pushed pretty hard on these smaller waves, and I did lighter on these waves, so it makes things stand out a little bit better. All right, the final step is creating our little sailboat. So grab your extra sheet of paper, your scissors, and a black crayon. Unless you have black construction paper, that would be very helpful. All right, see you soon. In the art room, we have something called scrap paper, and it's just reusable paper that's still good. So that's what I will use to draw my sailboat. Now for the sailboat, we start with a curved line. This is another arch shape. Then we're going to connect that line with a straight line, going from one side to the other, like this. Beautiful. Great job, everyone. Now we're going to draw the pole. This is called a mast. And it's going to start from this part of the boat and it's going to go straight up. Then you're going to draw another one very close to this one. There we go. Now our pole has height and width. Now we're going to draw the sail, which is a triangle shape. So we will use a diagonal line from the top, going out towards the side, and then in towards the pole. Perfect. Since I'll be cutting this out, I can just quickly color it, going out of the lines, no big deal. You might need help cutting this out, so please ask an adult or a big brother or sister to help you cutting your sailboat. Once you have it cut out, we'll be ready to glue it to our masterpiece. I'll grab my glue stick and put glue just around the edges of my sailboat and then find the perfect spot for it to sail away into the sunset. I hope you guys had fun creating this masterpiece with me and you know the difference between warm and cool colors. I'll see you next week for another fun art video. Bye!